Hello, so today I'm going to be working with Stetson. I worked with him a little bit yesterday on a halter breaking him. This is the first start of me doing any work with him. He is a yearling. He hasn't had much work done with him. Yesterday was my first lesson with him. So first I'm actually going to take him in the stall, do some work, and then I'm gonna and I should be able to halter him up. Yesterday I haltered him up, so then after that I'm going to take him back in his outdoor pen here and try haltering up in a bigger space. So I got him in here. It took actually a little bit. He was kind of being a little ornery there for a second, so but that's okay because I don't want him to be too perfect, because I'm trying to show you how to halter a horse that isn't exactly a perfect halter. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started with this first couple steps. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is just get him comfortable with me, walk up to him and petting him, which he did really good with that yesterday. Today he seems a little more spooky at something. So first thing, just walk up to him, pet him. If the horse doesn't let you walk up to him, then they're not going to let you walk up to them with the halter. So first steps is just getting them comfortable with us. So now I'm just going to go towards his face. Boy. So what you want is you want them to look at you. Sometimes, especially with a completely untouched horse, you won't get this close to him at the first time. But a lot of times they'll just face their rump towards you. But the main thing is you want their head turned. And so what I do, as I teach them along the steps, I really don't do it for the first couple times just because I'm working on a bunch of other things. But I'll eventually teach them, like with this hand signal, to turn their face into me. But that comes in a later step. Right now we're just trying to get them comfortable with us. Petting him, loving on him. Good boy. Yeah, and this is only his second lesson. He's doing fantastic. Oh, look at you. That's amazing right there. So not only do we want to do it on one side, we also want to do it on the other side. Sometimes if they're really spooky and don't want you, that's kind of difficult, but just first step is just let them get comfortable with you. I'm going to see if he'll turn the other direction. Good boy. Awesome. So now I'm on the other side and just petting him. He's spooked there with the bird and it kind of scared me too. Okay. Easy boy. Just calm down. If he spooks, that's okay. Just continue what you're doing. Just don't make much big deal about it, because you're just trying to get them to trust you and pretty much feel off your energy. If you're calm, more than likely they'll be calm. If you're scared and nervous, then they'll be scared and nervous. Number one thing, whenever you're on horses, never be scared and nervous. Be calm. This is perfect. So he's letting me walk up to him and pet him just fine. So now we'll go to the next step. So this next step, I am going to be getting Stetson used to the halter. I am just gonna rub it all around him, get him used to this, because sometimes they'll spook with the thing. Main thing is don't be sneaky about it. Let it be out in the open. I know, like some people, if the horse is scared of the halter or not wanting to be caught or anything, they'll like hide it behind their back and stuff. So you don't want to be sneaky whatsoever. You want to be out in the open. So we're gonna go ahead and start this next step. Okay, I'm gonna let him sniff the halter. Probably remember just from yesterday. Do you like that? I was nibbling on it. Okay, let's not do that. Okay, I'm just gonna rub it all over him. You do want to be a little careful with this step, because on occasion, if you like touch them with something new, if they're really spooky, the first reaction is to spin around and kick at the scary object. So you always want to be kind of alert and careful with what you're doing. Always kind of, first, whenever I introduce something new, I always have them sniff it. That's the number one thing. And then I'll normally rub it like on their shoulder, around up here, before I ever move towards his rump or whatever. Okay. He really likes to nibble on it, but it's not what I want him to do right now. I mean, it's good that, you know, he's comfortable with it where he's nibbling on it, but we also don't want him to get too nibbly with it. So, okay, I'm just going to continue, get him, use this, good boy. Rub it all over, flop it over his back. There we go. He's pretty much really comfortable with us now, which is really nice. He's visiting with my horse team. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and do the next step. You know, I don't think I rubbed the halter yet on this side, so we want to make sure we get both sides when we're working with the horse, because they may be good on one side and then really bad on the other. So you want to work with both sides with anything you work with. Whatever exercise, always do both sides of the horse. Okay, so now I'm going to do the next step, which I'm just going to get this around his neck, and it'll be the first step to getting the halter on him. He likes it in his mouth. Okay, let's not do that. Okay, I gotta. Okay, now I'm playing tug of war. Okay, there we go. You're a good boy. So I'm just gonna kind of rub it. No sudden moves. You want it all to be steady. And now I have it around his neck. And now I can move him. Good boy. Let's move. Fantastic. Okay. Let's move him away. Awesome. So pretty much I have pretty good control of him right now. Now that he seems really relaxed, I'm just going to undo it and release the pressure and kind of just walk away from him. So that was very good. And we're going to do that again. Okay, now I'm going to put this around his neck again. There we go. Awesome. And we're doing pretty good with the steps. We're moving through them pretty fast. I have already worked with him one day, but I worked with him yesterday. Not all horses are gonna learn this fast. Sometimes the only thing you can do the first day is pet them and walk up to them. And you might not be able to get the halter on them for the first day, but that's okay. Just consistent work. The main thing you want is at least your first 3 days of work in a row. After the third day seems to be the most improvement. It is great if you could do 4, 5, 6 days in a row, but at least get that 3. So if you plan on starting a new horse or starting a new exercise, make sure your first 3 days are available where you could work with that horse. So now I'm going to put this around him again. Keeps putting it in his mouth. Good boy. So he is really comfortable now with me doing this. So now that you have the rope around his neck, the next step is put the halter around his neck. And so now you have control with him with the halter. And now we're going to slowly bring this over his nose. And he's doing really good with that. His sister that I worked with, she would do really good with me putting the rope around her neck. But as soon as I'd go to put this over her nose, she would completely freak out. So if that's the case, just slowly bring it over the nose. Sometimes you can only get like just a little bit, but just slowly get it more up their nose and get it comfortable. He's just wanting to eat it right now. Okay. Okay, and so he did really good with that. We're going to go ahead, take it off and release the pressure. After he gets really comfortable with it though, you don't exactly have to like constantly release the pressure frequently, but it's important for the first couple days, first 3 days, to make sure they're comfortable with each step you do and take a break and release the pressure when they're doing really good with it. So now I am going to put this halter on him and tie it. Okay, put the rope around his neck. He's controllable. Now I'll do it with this. You're okay. Get easy boy. Good boy, okay? You have him pretty controlled here. We're just gonna put it over his nose. And then we're gonna go ahead and tie it. So now the halter is on. Good boy. Okay, so now that you have it on, it's all relaxed and everything, we're gonna go ahead and kind of move him around, just kind of like we did when we first put the rope around his neck. Get him kind of used to controlling. There we go. Good boy. And then as soon as they do what you want, release the pressure and reward them. Good boy. You're doing so good. Okay, I'm going to bring him towards me. Good job. And just get them used to. One of the first exercises I do with a horse after the haltering step is just the yielding hindquarters. It gets them to move around you and really listen to you and get them pretty comfortable with the halter. So he's doing really good. This is about all I did yesterday. And this is honestly a really good stopping point, but I might do a little more with him. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn him loose out in his bigger pen. And then I'm going to see how catching him will do. And see how he does with that. Good boy. So I'm going to go ahead and lead him out there and see how he does leading. He's a very smart boy. He's super relaxed. Here's Stetson. Put a little pressure. Okay, I'm going to release that pressure. Okay, I'm going to do that again. Pull. Good boy. I'm going to put a little more pressure. He's still fighting it, so I'm going to continue. Okay, good boy. This door isn't really opening much just because of all the stuff. Come here, boy. I'm going to put more pressure. Good boy. Then I released it once he took that step. Good boy. Just have to maneuver through a maze. Good job, Stetson. You're doing good. Yeah. Okay, now he's already doing really good. Just get him to come and just, you might just be able to get like a step out of him, but that's okay. You have to start somewhere. Good boy. Then as soon as they take this step, you release that pressure. So that's pretty much all I'm going to do, but I'm going to go ahead and unhalter him, and I'm going to put him in his pen here, and I'm going to see if I can halter him in a bigger. Okay, so now I've unhaltered him. He is loose in his pen. He can go anywhere. We're going to do each step that we just did in the stall, so we are going to just put that halter over there. And I'm just going to be have him let me just walk up to him and pet him. So that's going to be the first step. And he's doing fantastic. Good boy. Now I'm going to walk on the other side. Just be able to move all around him. Get comfortable with that. Good boy. So he's doing fantastic. And now I'm going to grab the halter and go ahead and do the second step. Good. Okay, I'm going to let him sniff this halter. So I'm going to ride it again. Okay, now I'm going to rub it on him, and he got a little jumpy there, but I'm just going to continue. Good boy. Pet him and rub it all around him. He is doing fantastic. Okay, I already have the rope around his neck. This is really good. He's really improving. Now just like move him wherever you want. That is really nice. Okay. Bring this around. He's doing really good. Good boy. And he is haltered, and that took like not even probably like it probably took like a minute. That was really nice. And this is only his second day that I've worked with him. Okay, so he has improved a lot in these 2 days that I've worked with him. When first haltering a horse, you want them to feel as comfortable as possible. You don't want to make anything scary. You want them to feel completely comfortable Give them lots of pets. You don't want to stress them out because you're just pretty much building your trust. And we want to put it on the halter a comfortable, fun thing. And he's already coming up to me, begging for attention. So that's really good. He's doing absolutely amazing. So a couple things is when you first have a horse that is completely untouched, I really don't do any of the exercises for, like, depending how not touched it is. If it's like completely untouched, like Hot Sauce and Mozzie was, especially Mozzie, just for the first week, I would just get them comfortable, feed them, brush them if I can, walk in their pen, just like be there and like don't do much to stress them out or anything. Then eventually they'll realize that, you know, you're the one that gives them food, you're the one that pets them, does all that. And then you could start the steps after you've already built some trust. Okay, so come here. I'm going to go. Okay, he's fighting me a little bit. There we go. He gave in and I released the pressure. So I'm going to go ahead and take the halter off, and he did really good. And I'm going to work with him again tomorrow. You have to get those first 3 days, and hopefully I could even work with him more this week. But the first 3 days is really, really important. Consistency is one of the most important things when training a horse. He is a mouthy little thing, but he's also young, so that just comes with it. And so that's pretty much it. I'm going to go ahead and halter him. When you are unhaltering him, you want to make sure that they don't like quickly jerk away and try to get out of the halter. So what I'll do is pretty much just the reverse steps of just getting on the halter. I will put this around his neck just in case if he does get loose, I could just quickly grab it. But so I'll undo it, untie it, and here. There we go. And so I still have him under control pretty good. It's untied. Make sure he doesn't jerk away. Bring his head in towards me. Slip it off. Pet him. You do not want them running off as soon as you undo it. And normally that's a habit that comes on down after working with them a while, but you just want to make sure they're really good with halter. And honestly, these are steps that you can work with even after they've been messed with a while, because sometimes we just create new habits where, like, one day they'll be the most friendliest ever, then the next day they just don't want caught. But just kind of review these steps with them. You're a good boy. So that's pretty much it with this guy. Okay, so a couple things I forgot to mention earlier. If you need, you can use a lunch stick. I just use this pretty much for extended arm. This is normally when they haven't been touched at all, and they're really scared of you. Then I'll just kind of use this for extended arm. That way, like, just in case if they're really scared where they might strike out at you, you can stay a safe distance and still rub them with it. Get them comfortable, and then eventually you get close enough where you could rub them with your hand. But you want to be safe, so if using an extended arm, then you can. And so that's pretty much it. And I think that's all I have for today. If you have any questions, just comment down below. Bye.